The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's the week of March 9th, 2020. My name is Taylor Cooper. With me, as always, Kevin Reavy. What's up, Reavy?
I'm so excited.
It's just us. This is Might Be Sports. CJ couldn't make it this week, but we miss you, CJ. If you're with us on YouTube, what's going on YouTube? Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on. Go to mbnnetwork.com. It's never been easier for you to find your new favorite podcast. Find some merch in our shop. We got stuff for all the different shows. It's awesome. As well as a link to our wonderful sponsor, Eunomia, eunomiacbd.com. Use promo code MBN. Get 20% off, free shipping, and free stuff with all orders. So if you're a return customer to Eunomia, you use our promo code, you will still get more free stuff. So go do it.
And we just want to send prayers up to CJ and wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into detail, but you know, some things went down, and you know,
we're thinking about you.
You're in our hearts.
We're thinking
our
about
minds.
you, CJ. Yeah. But with us on the line, we have a very special guest, co-host Kev from Might Be News. Kev, we got you on the line here. I wanted to talk some Flyers hockey with you, man.
Some puck. Let's do it.
Some puck.
Yeah, as the Canadians call it,
dude. So how hype are you about the Flyers right now, Kev? Are you like super flyered up?
I am flyered up to the fullest, dude. They're on a 9-game win streak right now.
Yeah.
They're on a 9-game win streak. They're picked to win the Stanley Cup. Now the Stanley Cup playoffs are still a month away.
Yeah.
They could totally flop because this Metropolitan Division is so freaking close. They could totally flop and not even make the playoffs. But the chances of that happening are very slim. And I said it on news. I'm going to say it again. And this kind of sounds bandwagony, but you know, Taylor, how fucking passionate I am about the Flyers. If the Flyers win the Stanley Cup, I'll go get a Flyers tattoo.
Wow. And we're going to record you doing that for sure. Okay. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Stanley Cup playoffs, also known as the Stanley Cup crapshoot, because half the teams make the playoffs, and then it just becomes, all right, just pull a team out of a hat, and they're in the finals. That's just the way it goes.
So
Reef. All right, no.
Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
We never got to have this debate before.
Yeah,
Are you a basketball fan?
Yeah, but I think their system is also bullshit. I don't like all these teams making the playoffs. I don't like Major League Baseball's proposition of having more teams make it. It just cheapens the whole thing.
So how many? Okay, you're not a fan of the basketball playoffs, but how many teams of basketball make the playoffs? How many teams in the NBA make the playoffs?
Well, here's the thing. I think that's a good point. The NBA, I think teams say all the time. I mean, players, they take games off. They don't take the regular season seriously.
Right.
Right now the players run the league, and
you're absolutely right.
They're jumping. There was something, I saw something on Twitter recently where it's some highlight play from Minnesota, and it's like, well, who cares? It's in Minnesota. They fill half the damn arena every game. They can't get players to play there because it's Minnesota. Yeah, because the best players are going to the best places to play. Brooklyn, L.A., wherever, Miami. So you end up in these situations where only these teams, and then, if you get lucky in the draft, you're going to run into a situation where you could possibly contend. Toronto kind of got lucky in that respect. A few things kind of bounced their way. They got lucky, but when's the next time you're going to see Toronto in the finals? It's incredibly difficult for them to do this thing. But I think the difference is between the NBA and the NHL is that really any team that makes the playoffs can kind of get there.
Yeah.
But the writing is on the wall for the NBA. The teams, the best teams are pretty much going to be there at the end. The NHL, just get to the playoffs and you have a chance to win it. The whole thing.
That makes it exciting, though.
But I think it cheapens the regular season a little bit more so than the NHL.
I suppose.
That's what happened last year with the St. Louis Blues winning the Stanley Cup. January 1st, they were in dead last place in the league, and then won the Stanley Cup.
It's exciting, but don't you also think, like, man, do they deserve it? Like, to just play well towards the end of the year? And, I am for sure not a knowledgeable enough hockey guy to say one way or the other to really comment, like, on the nitty-gritty, pardon my pun on that one, what's going on with the NHL. But I think if you give me both systems, I'd rather know at the beginning of the year who's going to be there at the end than just say, well, shoot, let's just... I mean, it's a total toss-up from the beginning to the end. You don't want it to be a total toss-up. You don't want any team to have a chance. You want to have some sort of idea,
right?
Especially if you're building a team, if you're a fan of a team, you want to know if your team's going to be in it or not.
I think that the Stanley Cup playoffs are fantastic. I like the playoffs for hockey, really, no matter who's in it. Obviously, I'll be more excited if the Flyers are in it, which they haven't been for what, Kev, 3 seasons?
3 seasons. They have not made the playoffs.
So it's kind of hard to really, be into it if you don't have a team to root for in the playoffs. But I still enjoy it. They always come down to the wire, even if it's a bad team versus a good team, bad team versus a good team, whatever. It always seems to go, down to it, 6-7 games. So it's fun. I'm excited for the Flyers. Kev, I know I told you on news that I was going to watch on Saturday, and I did not, and they won, and now I'm even more scared to watch. I'm even more scared.
I was sitting there watching that game, thinking about that. Is this fucking asshole watching this? Because they were playing like shit on Saturday.
Well, I guess that makes me feel a little bit better. When do they play next?
They actually play. They play Wednesday. When this episode comes out, Wednesday.
Okay, so Wednesday.
Tonight.
So tonight. So tonight I'm watching the Flyers, which is great because Kev, you can't see me, but I got my Flyers jersey on right now. I'm all flyered up for the episode. Yeah.
Well, the issue with Wednesday's game is they're playing Boston, and Boston leads the league in points right now. They are the number 1 team.
Okay. So
it's a huge 2 points. It's a huge 2 points.
Well, that's one issue, but the main issue is that Survivor is also on that night.
Oh my God.
8 o'clock, 7 Central.
God.
So, I mean, that's not the main issue is that they have a major competitor in that time slot, being Survivor. And, it's been a great season so far, I should say. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. If you're into hockey, whether you're a big Survivor fan, I say even if you're a diehard Flyers fan, this is a very critical episode of Survivor.
Right.
Maybe you DVR the Flyers game, check out Survivor live so you know what's going on. You can, live tweet on Twitter, and then you go back to the Flyers game, maybe check on your phone the score as you're watching Survivor during the commercials.
Because one's clearly more important than the other, Kev.
You are out of your mind.
They're both major sports. I mean, whatever. I don't have a problem with whatever you choose. They're both major American sports. And
Major.
Whatever you want to go with is cool by me.
Well, what is Canada's number 1 sport?
I'm pretty sure it's Survivor.
It could be Survivor. I'd have to look at the stats. I don't have those stats on me right now.
I know for a fact because I Googled it. Hockey is not Canada's number 1 sport.
No? What is it? Baseball?
Lacrosse.
Oh.
See, if reality show competition was considered a sport like it should be, I'm sure it would be up there.
Kev, well, I'm glad that you're all flyered up. I know that it was a tough beginning of the season for you. I know that they started out kind of rough, and it's been a tough 3-year drought without them in the playoffs. So I'm flyered up for you, and I'm excited for hockey fans all over the region where we are because it's been, like I said, a roller coaster ride of a season, roller coaster ride of a past couple years, and it seems like the Flyers really got their shit together right now.
It does, and I'll let Reavy slide until playoff hockey starts because whenever he goes out to the bar, that's all that's going to be on. So he'll have to watch Flyers hockey then.
I'm on the bandwagon already, so I'm already all flyered up myself. And I don't care. People say, you're not allowed. I don't care. Yeah. When they suck, I don't pay attention. When they're good, I jump on the bandwagon, and I'm honest about it. And I love the Flyers right now. The Flyers are great. Gotta love it. Carter Hart, Mark Recchi, Eric Lindros, all those guys that are currently on the team. I love it.
Mark Recchi hasn't played in how many?
You know what I mean. I mean, the real players. I mean, the real players who I can name from top to bottom that are on the team right now. Like, well, I mean, all of them. The big time left winger and the center, they're great.
Kev.
The starters. I mean, I could name most of the starters, most of the backups too, but I don't need to do that on this show and waste time.
Right? No, yeah.
Jacob
it's not
Voracek.
necessary. Yeah.
Jacob
right.
Voracek.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Jacob Voracek. Yeah. Boom.
Boom. You're so good at this.
Claude Giroux. Double boom.
Who's actually had a really good season this year, certainly as of late. And I'm a big Giroux critic. You know, I think that he's been kind of under.
What hockey are you watching that he's had a good season?
Well, no, I mean, it seems like he's been putting it together recently. I mean, like at least in the past,
you
like
caught
week or so.
yourself in a trap. You haven't been watching.
I haven't been watching. He knows that. I just keep hearing that Giroux's doing good. At least it seems like everybody's doing good on the team right now.
Jacob Voracek is having a good season.
I would agree.
He's having a phenomenal season.
I feel like you're taking the words right out of my mouth right now, but you go ahead. You're the guest.
He's leading the team in assists right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
We all know that, though. But, I mean, it's worth repeating. It's worth, really accentuating the fact that he's leading the team in assists. And Voracek's the man. Voracek's great. Gotta love him. He's the straw that stirs the drink on the fly. I've been saying it for years.
Wow.
I don't know about that. I'll go with Kevin Hayes because I was very.
Don't go making up players now. I see what you're doing. There's no Kevin Hayes. You're messing with us, and that is bullshit. Okay, we're calling that one out right now. High five. We called that one.
Yeah, Kevin Hayes is fake. That's a basketball player.
Fake name.
That's a basketball player.
You thought you had us.
He plays for the Clippers, I think.
You got. So boom.
Before Saturday's game, the stat went up, and I was very surprised to see this. Kevin Hayes. If Kevin Hayes scores, then the Flyers are at 19-0-1 or some shit like that. If Kevin Hayes scores for that game, not first, not last, but
just
as long as he puts a goal in, the Flyers are 19-0-1.
Very interesting stuff, Kev. Well, dude,
interesting stuff.
We're gonna have to check back in with you when we get closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
All right.
I look forward to it.
All right, Kev. Thanks for your time, man. We'll check in with you later, man.
Later.
See ya. All right. So, co-host Kev. Everybody, co-host Kev.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good job.
Now that we got hockey out of the way, have you been watching
Survivor? Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Are you getting hyped up for baseball?
I am.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good season. I think specifically for the Phillies. I think they're gonna do pretty well.
A lot of people, I've been gradually getting into it. I'm excited for the new manager. I'm excited that people aren't going to be bitching about Gabe. Obviously, Joe Girardi has a championship pedigree. He's been there, done that. I'm excited for McCutchen to be back. I hope that he stays healthy.
Not going to start the year, but yeah, that's fine. I think they got a bunch of guys.
There's not a lot of upgrades to their bullpen, though, and that's what I've been hearing, and that's, I think, the main source of concern for the Phillies.
It's the easiest part of the team to upgrade during the season.
Okay.
It's the least expensive. I mean, you could buy pieces as the season goes on, and it's also one of those things you don't know. Season to season, relief pitchers seem to be a little bit volatile. You don't know who the great ones are necessarily, or the good ones, just the ones that just get you by. I think you do yourself a better, I mean, at least statistically, I would say, it seems that if you let the season go on and see who's pitching well, and then kind of grab those guys, trade for those guys, it doesn't cost a lot for a middle reliever. But sometimes you start the season, you sign a guy in the offseason, after 2 months, he's got a 5 ERA. You're like, what the hell is this? At least if you trade for these guys midseason, you know what they're doing right now. You know that they're doing well right now. It doesn't always translate, but I think you give yourself a better chance there. You can't do that with a first baseman.
Yeah.
Or oftentimes a starting pitcher. It's going to cost too much. So you can do that with guys in your bullpen more effectively as the season goes on. So I'm fine with that. That's the bad part of their team right now. That's the part where they need to have more improvement.
That's all I've heard about as far as that goes.
That's where you want it to be. You don't want it to be in the starting rotation, even though you could make that argument too. But I look at their lineup. I think it's great.
Lineup looks great.
I think they have a really good shot, and they're moving a lot of pieces around. I love the speed that they have. Right now, if Roman Quinn, if he can ever stay healthy, I like him as a center fielder to fill in there while McCutcheon's out. But you got just the other day, Real Muto, the catcher. He's your leadoff guy, and that's very rare to have a catcher in that position.
Yeah.
They got a lot of versatile guys. Luckily, they don't have a lot of volatile guys. They don't have the volatility in the clubhouse. I think is gone now, which is great. Mm-hmm. We'll see where Odubel Herrera ends up, but I think that kind of clubhouse guy is gone from the team. Mm-hmm. I think they turned the page and they realized, all right, we need to play different. We need to be different. Because there was a lot of things that went on last year.
I feel like
that you could draw a direct line. I mean, you got Gene Segura not running out of ball, and Andrew McCutcheon misses the rest of the year. You could draw a direct line from that injury to where they
really
screwed the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think
they know it.
I think that Joe Girardi seems, in comparison to Gabe, a lot more no nonsense, right? So like where Gabe was kind of just real nonchalant, super positive, even when they were like in the gutter. I think, Joe Girardi's going to hold these guys accountable for like moves like this Segura, but not running out the base, Jake Arrieta airing out grievances to the media, stuff like that. I just don't think is going to fly moving forward. And I think that that's going to be good and hopefully a good unifying thing. Because, I mean, what better way to unify a team than to just start winning? And, I hope that they come out strong. I haven't gotten a chance to watch a spring game yet, but I haven't really been paying attention. I'm just excited for the season to start. I'm excited for Phillies baseball this year. I am.
And I think they respect Girardi more. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows for sure?
Do you think
that way?
Do you think that the championship pedigree is 100% to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, he was at the helm of one of the most storied franchise maybe in sports and brought them a championship.
Right.
He's a known commodity. Mm-hmm. And, everybody wanted him. Mm-hmm. Philly got him. And the players, they know what he's all about. They know that he's a great manager. I mean, he's not like a Bill Belichick kind of thing, but he's got that aura.
It's different in baseball, right?
He's got that, he's got that aura about him. He's a manager. He's the guy. Gabe Kapler was kind of a joke. Mm-hmm. And we're realizing that more and more as the days go by. Gabe Kapler really was a Chip Kelly, I think. We won't know until this season plays itself out. But
because where is he now?
He's in San Francisco.
That's right.
And there's stories coming out daily about him just being kind of a joker.
Yeah. Doesn't belong.
It's just there's always something going wrong with Gabe Kapler, it's just the extracurricular stuff that shouldn't matter. That just pops up with Gabe Kapler. So you're not supposed to know too much or have a feeling one way or another about a manager. They're in the background. But he always made it so much about himself. And I could go into details that I probably shouldn't, but I've always thought Gabe Kapler had, this is total speculation, but I think he has an image problem. Mm-hmm. One of those things where, you pick let's say Donald Trump. Why is he so orange all the time? You want is he tanning? Why does he care about, and who knows, but does he care about his image that much? And you wonder about these guys, like, where do you want their focus on? Gabe Kapler, like, is his self-image is potentially like so bad, or like one of those things where you just feel like he feels. I don't have the words. I don't think he feels good about himself. And you get into this like deep psychological stuff, and what the hell do I know? But superficially, me looking from the outside in, that's the way he kind of was as a player. And I could pick a bunch of players. Dan Ugla, who played for the Marlins and the Braves. He was one of those guys. He wore tight shirts, and as the years went on, his arms got bigger and bigger, and the short sleeves like got shorter and shorter. And I would look at him swing the bat, like, dude, your flexibility is gone. Your strength is up, but like as he got bigger, his batting average got lower.
Right.
And his ability to play the game, he was gone. He could have had a great career. I mean, what do I know? But those kind of guys, Gabe Kapler was kind of the same way. He was a huge prospect coming up, but I always had the feeling like this guy is all about image and all about looking like a superstar instead of playing like one. And you transfer that to the manager, where the manager, who gives a shit? Charlie Manuel had a gut that protruded 3 feet out of his damn body.
Yeah.
He would limp his way out to the mound to replace pitchers, and it was a joke. His head would bobble like a damn bobblehead. He was a literal walking bobblehead. Yeah. But who gives a shit? He's your manager.
Right.
I don't want a manager who could be on the cover of GQ. It's just weird. It's an extra thing that's in their life that you just don't want.
Joe Girardi's a good-looking dude. We'll see.
He's just a dude. That's the thing. Like, you don't think about Joe Girardi being a good-looking dude or a bad-looking dude. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
You don't think about any league. Like, do we talk about what the managers or the coaches look like? But with Gabe Kapler, that was a conversation. Why?
Right.
Why did we have to have it? Why did he force us to have it?
Right.
So I didn't know that I was going to go into an impromptu Reavy Rant.
Reavy Rant?
The Reavy Rant! So these leagues, they need to be the parents. We're the kids. We don't know better. We're just fans. I mean, I know better because I'm Reavy, and this is the Reavy Rant, and I get to say what I want, and I'm right.
What do you got this week for the Reavy Rant?
So, kind of in the same, well, not in the same vein, but in the same sport, I love to rant about the Astros because I'm kind of a, de facto Astros fan. The Astros have done a lot for me and Ryan Spader and our book writing endeavors. But I've always loved the Astros. My favorite players growing up, my favorite team was the Phillies. My favorite players were Craig Biggio, Nolan Ryan, Jeff Bagwell. Love those guys. Lance Berkman. Always loved the Astros. So yeah, I have to say that up front. I'm biased. Of course I'm biased. But I've always been a guy, when this is the way it is, and there's no changing the way it is, you move on. And right now, fans are jumping to Twitter. I've talked about this before, but the season's about to start, and we've got casinos out there putting numbers on how many times the Astros are going to get beat. When you hit a guy, it's a free base. If the Astros break the record for getting hit by pitch,
they're going to score a lot of runs.
Assuming they don't get majorly hurt in the process, which normally that doesn't happen, they're going to just walk more. If this is a distraction not for the Astros, it's a distraction for every team that allows it to be a thing going forward.
Yeah.
And Joe Madden was talking about it. Joe Madden was saying, how about we just let it go? And then, fans jump on Joe Madden and say, you can't let it go.
Yeah.
This team cheated, and they need to learn their lesson. It's over. No players are going to get suspended. It's over. It's done. We've argued about it. It's over. If you want to hit these guys, fine. It hurts your team.
Do they know, though, what players participated in this?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay. Because those are the people that I feel like should be punished. And I do feel like they should be punished. Right. I'm not one of the people, though, that's just like, oh, they should take the championship away. Like, all right, if you're going to do... they should do something, though.
I think I'm on board with that, too. Here's the thing. They chose not to, and it's over.
Right.
And there's no going back.
Right.
It's done. It's over. They're not going to get punished.
So what do the fans do then? Like, do they like?
They just enjoy the season,
right? But like, I don't know. I mean,
they want some.
I don't know.
They want
this is how I feel. This is how I feel. If you feel really strongly about the Houston Astros and what they did, make sure that you do not go to the game that they play in your town. Right, like if they're coming to Philly,
or just go to the game and root your team on.
Well, yeah, root your team on, or boo the shit out of them. No, I'm saying for the people who really feel strong about it and who are really mad that nothing happened, just don't go watch them. I mean, if enough people do that, the league will see that and be like, well, maybe we did the wrong fucking thing by not doing anything. Right? I mean, because I know that they fined them. I know that they got rid of the managers are suspended and this and that and everything else. But if a player knowingly participated in that, like I feel like they should be punished too. Like you said, though, they didn't, so let's move on. Right. It's up to the individual, I guess, how to move on. Whether you just go and enjoy the games and just literally move on, or whether you're just like, I'm free to go to a game this week. Oh, I'm not going on Wednesday because the Astros are playing.
And that's great. I'm on board with that. I mean, anything, I've always said, fans are the owners.
Right, right. We decide.
Which, sidebar, I've always thought it was funny how I think players think that like fans are on their side and fans are like, oh, I want that guy to get paid. When it comes down to it, no, fans are part of the ownership. As much as fans don't want to admit it, fans don't want a new CBA in the NFL that allows, guaranteed contracts. That's not good for the fan. And we intrinsically, we don't think that way. We think, oh, no, we love the players. We put posters of players on our walls, not the owners, not the managers, not the GM. But when it comes right down to it, it's about the team. Well, who runs the team? That's the coaches, the GM, the owners. So it's one of those, it's a weird thing that, we are not on the side of players. We never really are. We're on the side of, management and the owners. Right. So it's a weird thing when it comes down to this Astros deal. I'm all for fans, if you don't want to go to the game, cool.
Right.
You're the ones that pay their salaries. Cool.
Right.
Now, Major League Baseball will know if you really do vote with your wallet, we need to do this differently next time, which I think they know. They kind of screwed this up.
Yeah, they did.
They could have done a better job.
Yeah.
With this whole thing. And I think, again, now that it's done, now that it's over, it's done.
Right.
You move on.
Yeah.
But people love to go on Twitter and complain and do all that whole thing.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And the lawsuits, it's all a big joke.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's do Go to the Week.
Might Be Sports presents the greatest of all time.
Of the week. My clear-cut Go to the Week this week. A little unorthodox, I think, this week. I'm going to go with Spike Lee. Spike Lee is single-handedly...
Couldn't disagree more with this one, but I'm loving it. Go.
Couldn't.
We're going to debate this one a little bit.
So all right. So I already kind of know where I have a feeling why you disagree, but the New York Knicks are a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. They've been having some issues with some of their notable, highly recognizable fans this season. It happens to be Spike Lee, which may or may not be the most recognizable staple in that stadium, right? He's basically the Jack Nicholson for what he is for the Lakers, right? Jack Nicholson for the Lakers, Spike Lee for the Knicks, and apparently he used the same entrance that he's been using for 28 years, and all of a sudden it's not allowed, and the security gave him a big problem. And he ended up getting he vowed on ESPN on First Take that he's not going back this year to any more home games. And the following game, they were down, I think 3,200 fans because of that. It was like their lowest attendance since 2006 or something, which is crazy. What do you think about this whole thing?
Well, I think it's
cool that he's standing up for what he's doing. Apparently, everybody has a problem with the
Gotta stand up for what you believe in.
Do the right thing.
Hey, this is the entrance that I believe that I'm entitled to. It's so. First of all, he went on First Take and he lied and said he didn't shake hands. He didn't make good with Dolan. Dude, I don't know why in 2020 people still don't realize they're on camera all the time.
Right,
dude, you're on camera shaking his hand. I never shook his hand. You shook his hand. You just did. But because you have this narrative in your mind, why are we to believe everything else he said when you're clearly lying about that? So this does come down to they just politely asked you to use a different entrance, and from what we are led to believe, you agreed to it. You did have a handshake.
Right.
You shook the guy's hand on camera. You said, I never shook his hand. I never made an agreement. You want it your way. But in this world where we're apparently, this Bernie Sanders world where we're anti-millionaire, we still consider Spike Lee he's the one being persecuted here. He's the victim. What? They're just asking you to use a different entrance. Maybe they're tightening the ship in certain ways. Businesses do this all the time. Regardless of whether or not they should make an exception for him, it's a very small detail.
I agree with you there. I agree with you that...
And apparently they're asking every single other celebrity to use the same entrance.
Everyone.
This is crazy.
And maybe at the time he wasn't aware of it because according to him, just a day or two prior to that, he used the same entrance for a Broadway musical there.
You ever notice it's one of those things where they say, here's the new rules, and you start breaking the new rules, and eventually you get caught like, well, you didn't say anything the past few times. Yeah, that's because you got away with it.
Yeah.
You were just getting away with it.
I can dig what you're saying about the entitlement issue about it and this and that, and certainly that he got caught in, saying that he didn't give the dude a handshake, and he did, clearly. But I don't know. I feel like the Knicks situation is just boiling in Madison Square Garden.
It's not really because nobody cares about the Knicks anymore.
But the Knicks fans do. The people who go there do. I mean, like people like Spike Lee do.
But until they win, it's not going to matter. I mean,
right.
They have none of this matters at all whatsoever.
I'm just not a fan of the owner of the Knicks at all, and I'm a fan of Spike Lee, so he's my goat of the week. Whether I agree with him or not,
he's a good director.
I like Spike.
I like Spike Lee. He's fun. But I mean, I think this particular thing, it's like, oh man, we love to find victims when they clearly just aren't there.
I agree with you on that. I just thought I found it an entertaining story because, again, fuck the Knicks. Fuck them.
I'm with you there. So my go to the week is weird. I mean, it does have a weird tie-in to sports a little bit. But just to go a little bit pop culture, I'm going to go with the McMillions documentary. Have you been watching it on HBO?
I have not.
All right, so you got to watch McMillions. The bullshit of it is that it could be a 2-hour documentary.
So hold on, just real quick. This is about an HBO documentary about the McDonald's Monopoly game and how it was corrupt. Correct.
Yeah. And I think it's over 6 hour-long episodes, about an hour long a piece, I think.
And you're saying you feel like it could have been condensed?
It's just 6 weeks, and it takes so long. It could be 2 hours. Some of these episodes are ridiculous. They're dumb. But the tie-in to sports, what I think is very interesting is that we have basically for at least 1 year, the McDonald's Monopoly game, you couldn't win the game because the winning pieces were being taken by this group and distributed to people they wanted to give it to. So you couldn't win.
Which is so crazy.
Now, here's the tie-in. What were we just talking about with baseball? Teams and fans are saying, well, we couldn't win. We couldn't beat the Astros because they had the edge. And now we got these lawsuits for potentially billions of dollars. Do you want to know what McDonald's settled for? When it was all said and done, reported they settled for $15 million.
Wow.
The class action lawsuit to McDonald's, I'm sure you could sign up online and whatever it was at the time, and every person in America that signs up gets, a free quarter pounder. Is that McDonald's or I'm not sure.
You got it.
And $15. Who the hell knows what it was?
Right.
$15 million. Drop in the bucket. This is the difference. We're in this weird social media thing now where the McMillions documentary is a way bigger story than the actual thing, the actual problem, the actual scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole Astros thing, it's a big deal, but it's a way bigger deal now because people can go on Twitter and complain about it. And there are real world side effects because now millions of people complain about it. Then Major League Baseball goes, oh shit, maybe we have to, look back into this. We got to change the rules. You got lawyers saying, well, there's lawsuits. There's money to be exchanged. There's real world consequences just because people can hop on Facebook and, give their opinion. Where 10, 15 years ago with this McDonald's thing that affected, probably literally everybody that ate at McDonald's, which was everybody.
Yeah.
15 million. That's crazy, right?
It's crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, so if you want, first of all, check out the documentary. It's great. Go on HBO. Look at that. But it is a good example of, man, if that was going on now, it could be the end of McDonald's itself.
Oh yeah. They would just get crushed in the wave of social media hate. Yeah.
So hopefully with the Astros thing, people just let it go. And I mean, it could be like one of these things, you never know. It could cripple the whole sport sometimes. There could be a few players that just, break the rules and boom, one judge says, you owe $6 billion. And it just cripples the whole damn sport.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not where it's going, but we'll
I don't
see.
think so. Great week, great job this week, Reavy. And shout out to co-host Kev for calling in, talking some puck with us. Thoughts and prayers to CJ.
We're gonna, as we hear more and find out more what's going on with him. I mean, it just it doesn't.
Go. Make sure you
look good. It doesn't
smash
look good.
the subscribe button on YouTube, people. Go to patreon.com/MBN Network. You know me as CBD.com. MBN promo code 20% off, free shipping, free stuff. We'll see you guys next week.